everyone, in today's video I'll be showing you how you can create this image in Figma and make it dynamic. So let's get started. So now we are in Figma, and the first thing that you want to do is drop in a frame. So clicking on this and just drawing in a rectangle about there. That's nice. Okay. So the next thing that you want to do is drop in another rectangle of the same size as the frame. You can click on this and drag from that corner to all the way to the other corner. So now we have to rename this as an image. Okay. So the next thing that you want to do is drop in another rectangle as an overlay, and I'll tell you why later on in this video. So again, from that corner to the opposite corner, and rename this as an overlay. Alright. And the next thing that you want to do is, since now we have this yellow bar right here, so we are going to draw it in this. For that, a rectangle, but there. Okay, that looks nice. And change the color. Well, there. That looks really nice. Okay, rename this as well. Okay. So the next thing that needs to be in this picture is the text, right? So over to this image, it has a title and a subtitle, but we need to break it down into the number of lines that these text have. The title is of one line, but the subtitle has 2 lines. This is subtitle 1 and this will be subtitle 2. So moving on to Figma. So the next thing that this image has is the text. So over into Figma, so let's do the text right now. Okay. So clicking on the text and dropping it over here. I have a specific formatting that I would like to do, but you can do the formatting that you prefer if you have anything specific. So for this, for the title, I want to do a Montserrat. So I'm going to type in halfway that, and let's do bold and type in title. There we go. And obviously increase the font a bit. 24, 22. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And since we are taking in the information from Google Sheet, this is a text, right? So we're going to rename this as hash title. Okay. I'm going to give this white color. Okay. And I'm going to do 2 subtitles like I explained earlier. So let's do subtitle 1. Let's change the formatting here to italics and white. Sorry about that. In Georgia. Yeah. And a little bit. Yeah, that looks really nice. Okay, let's duplicate this, but before that we need to rename this first. Okay. Now let's duplicate this. That's done. Drag it down just a little bit below that. Subtitle 2. Okay. And escape. And now since this is focused, you can change this here and change it to 2. Alright. A little bit the arrow keys on your keyboard. Yeah. So let's move on to the image portion. So I'm going to hover over this, but before that I want to disable the view of this so that the image is seen. Okay. So now focusing on the image, I'm going to go over this. This is a solid color and we want it as an image. So let's do that. that this particular pattern is now here. And the reason I disable this is because it is also a solid color, and whether you did the correct thing that you should do for the image to be seen over here, you have to disable the previous layer if it is solid, so that the layer below is seen. Okay, so now let's just keep it disabled so that you guys can see. And now just focusing on the image, let's go over here and over to plugins, unsplash. Okay, now since this is an nature based image that I'm looking for, or an animal based image, whichever one is prettier and nicer, so I'm gonna choose nature. Let's do nature. It might take a few seconds, but let's give it that. So now you can keep clicking on the same tab till you get the perfect image that you're looking for. Okay, I wasn't quite happy with the nature, so let's do animal. Oh, that's really pretty bird. Okay, I think curious really matches with the cat right here, so I'm going to stick to that. Let's and another way that you can search for images is obviously you can keep clicking on this particular tab, or any tab for that matter, from everything that is present over here. Or you can go over to search and you can click in, like let's say space, and you have multiple images that you can actually see and click whichever one you prefer. Or you can just type in your particular keyword or an image that you're searching for, and yeah, you can get the one that you are looking for. Okay, so that was the Unsplash plugin, really nice. It's all built in, and yeah. So now let's focus on overlay. So I enable the eye, and now focusing on the thing, let's do pass through and hard light. I really like the hard light. I even like multiply. Oh, that's really nice. But it almost looks as though it's but I kind of like hard light. You can play around with this, all of these multiple options that you have. So I'm going to go for a hard light and choose something right about there, so that the title and subtitles stand out. Okay. Now moving on to the interesting part, that is making the title and the subtitles dynamic. Now for this, all you require is a Google Sheet. So let's move on to the Google Sheet that I have here. And now, since it is like, it's broken down into 3 lines, just like in this image, the title and the subtitle, but this is considered as 2 lines. Okay, so let's go ahead and add these in Google Sheet. So I'm going to type in title, subtitle 1, sorry, and subtitle 2. Okay. So now how you want the formatting to be over here. If it's in caps, you have to type it here in caps. If it's in, like, the first letter is big and the other is small, you have to do the same. Now caps lock. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this that I have in my notepad. You need to check if the spellings are correct. So it's title, subtitle, and yeah, everything seems correct. So let's go ahead and share it. Okay, anyone with the link. Okay, and you need to copy this link, hit done, and go over to Figma. So now over to Figma, this is another plugin. So we have to download this. It is the Google Sheet thing, so hit that. Okay. So now we have this. You can just copy the paste. Since you copied it, you can go ahead and paste it and hit fetch. So now we can see that whatever is in this Google Sheet is now in this Google Sheet Sync plugin. So just like we wanted. Okay, just hit sync, and there we have it. It's like magic. Okay, we need to do some formatting, and yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So let's just hold that, and to keep the size, you want to hold shift, and yeah. Okay. There we go. It's nice, it's really profesh, and it's really cute. What do you guys think? Needs a little bit of adjusting. I think that's really nice. Yeah, and that's how you do your own dynamic text in Figma using the Google Sheet Sync uh, plugin. It's free, you can download it. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. And another thing that you can do is you can always update these lines. You can go over to Google Sheet and you can type in here, and I'm going to rename this as a double S so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Curious. And when you go over to, you can update all of these. You can change the entire sentence. If there's 3 lines, you can add subtitle 3 and third line of that subtitle. It's really that simple. So moving on to dynamic text in Figma, you have this resync Google Sheet data. Just hit that, and there we have it. It's updated. It's that simple. If you don't want what you change, you can just go back over to Figma again and resync, and it'll take a few seconds, but give it some time, and there we have it. It's updated again. Is that cool? Simple. And yeah, you can even add an image, provided the image that you're given, the image address that you're given is public. So it's all cool. And yeah, there's much more formatting that you can do in Figma using the Google Sheet. There's documentation and everything on the internet, so you can go ahead and Google that. This is just the basic of how you can use Figma and Google Sheet in day-to-day life. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something from it. So thank you.